Alright guys, welcome to my quick playback painting that I did on my phone recently. It is called Light at the End of the Tunnel. And the idea was sort of like a different design of the anglerfish, where the bulb, the little light source that normally comes out of the forehead, which attracts fish near the mouth, so the fish can eat them. I wanted to move that light source inside the fish, so it's essentially the fish itself is the tunnel, and any little fish, as you see the one that I'm drawing in, swimming by, which will notice it when the mouth is open, will want to kind of swim on in and get eaten. So it's kind of I guess maybe not the happiest idea behind a painting, but I don't know, I really liked the concept and thought I would, not make it too scary or anything and just play around with the lighting. So here you see me doing some quick line art. I went ahead and dropped everything on a new layer and started working in grayscale, trying to figure out which sections of the fish I want lit. That's where I used, a lighter color. And I'm essentially getting rid of the line art at this point. I dimmed it down, and I'm filling in all the spots underneath the line art with, with different tones of gray, because I'm preparing the piece for a color layer. And you'll see a very quick transition from the gray into a blue, and that's just putting a color layer on top of what you see here. So I added a small sort of backdrop behind the little fish, as you can sort of see in front of the larger mouth. You see that almost V-shaped light. And yeah, I'm just cleaning up a few of the different areas, kind of adding some rim lighting on the fin to sort of indicate that the fish is a little bit transparent. I went ahead and darkened the areas around the fish, the border areas. I could have probably went even darker looking at it now, but it looks okay overall. Like, I'm pleased with it. And now you see me coloring the tongue in a little bit. Well, it's not really color, but yeah, dropping some of that rim light to indicate that the light source, the light from the light source is strongest at that point, because yeah, the fish is transparent, but there's nothing stopping the light from coming out of the open mouth. I played around with different design aspects on the fish, like adding some sort of textures to the belly, but I decided to just keep it clean. A very clean and quick painting. I did this one on stream. So now you can see me lighting the fish, lighting the little fish, and giving it some reflections on the eyeballs, going in and fixing up the lips, making it like a really donut shape. So now I've dropped the color layer. This is me working on the color layer before I switch to the color effect. It's not transparent at all and doesn't mix with anything, so I just softened up those colors and then switched it back to color layer, so that when I merge it all together and start working in color this time, I won't have to fix as much of the subtle changes. So now I'm outlining the teeth, and the reason that I'm lighting the left side of the teeth as well as the right, even though the right is where the light is coming from, is I just figured some of that color that's coming out of the mouth would be bouncing off of the little fish and back onto the teeth. So essentially you've got like a secondary light source, even though it's smaller than the primary. And that was one way, to define the form a little bit and to make it easier to understand what we're looking at. I've also went ahead and used a little bit of that lighter blue color around the entire large fish, just to really separate him out from the, not even really separate him, but just to make his shape a little bit more apparent. And you can kind of see that. And I'm just finishing up here, touching up some of the details on the little fish, adding these sort of lightning effects, like a veiny kind of spinal cord or nervous system, I'm not even sure. It turned out decently okay. Like, I probably could have done more there. And then I was trying to see if you know, there was some other things I can do with the design. I just didn't want to spend too long on it. Kind of gave the gills a little splits, just for, I don't know, to break up, I guess, the overly simple shape. And then now I dropped in some specks on an overlay layer, and that essentially looks like, you know, the little specks you see in the water. And I'm done. So that is the final piece. Thanks for checking it out. I'll be posting more sometime soon, but you know, for now, that's it. And hope you have a good one.